When the screen goes dark and the world won't start, you know who to call, yeah. Watching you struggle with that frozen screen. 3 days now and you're losing your mind. I see it tapping and nothing's working right. Daniel's got that look in his eyes. From sunrise to the end of the day, you're always fixing what's broken away. Why do you always stay when everyone else would walk away? Why do you always care, Daniel? Why you're always there? Coffee's getting cold while you run diagnostics, explaining every step like I'd understand. Your hands move fast across the keyboard magic, making sense of what I can't comprehend. From sunrise to the end of the day, you're always fixing what's broken away. Why do you always stay when everyone else would walk away? Why do you always care, Daniel? Why you're always there? Maybe it's not about the broken parts. Maybe it's about the way you see. Every problem has a beating heart. You won't give up on me. Now the screen's alive and everything's running smooth. You pack your tools with that quiet smile. I know tomorrow when something breaks loose, you'll be back here in a little while. That's why you always stay when everyone else walk away. That's why you always care, Dad. That's why you're always there. The screen goes dark and the world won't start. I know who to call, yeah.
Well, welcome. Today is Judge Raquel West, and this is another pretty good judge. So let's get started here. Share screen.
Courtroom. Patience runs thin as two
To that charge. Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you did what they charged you with?
Yes.
I have here on the tablet some documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Do you fully understand them?
Yes.
And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal?
Yes.
And it looks like the agreement that you've reached is for a 6-year deferred adjudicated probation. There would be a $1,000 fine, and you would be required to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
Also, do you understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. State tenders number
No
one.
objection?
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Bruno is not competent?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of your plea. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm going to reset your case so that the probation department can do a pre-sentence report. That'll give me more information about you, your case, and then we'll come back later for sentencing. Ms. Malfino?
Judge, he's not from here. I have a little bit of hesitation with his Louisiana history. If he does in fact have any, I cannot see any in NCIC, TCIC, but due to the fact that he's not local, of course defer to the court, but I would appreciate if we could just hold him for those couple of weeks with PSI coming.
Your Honor, the only record I know he has,
Or know where
he has a misdemeanor marijuana charge from way back, and there's no felony history at all.
So where are you going to live when you're released? Where do you live?
I live in Louisiana.
Where in
Lafayette.
Louisiana? Lafayette. So, I'm sorry.
He works in Baton Rouge.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Bruno, based on the nature of your plea. I'm going to reduce your bond in your case to $1,000. Until sentencing, if you make that bond, I am going to require that you wear a GPS monitoring device. And so you'll need to get that taken care of. They'll put it on at the jail. That's just to make sure we know where you are and to make sure you get back here for your sentencing, okay? Once you get on probation, I don't anticipate that you'll have to continue wearing it. That's just a bond condition to make sure, since I lowered that bond, that you have that incentive to come back when you're supposed to, okay? All right. Okay, thank you, sir. You can go back with the bailiff.
Well, Your Honor, also he might tell him if he gets out about,
Oh, yeah, so
I'm sorry.
Mr. Bruno, yeah, thank you. So also, if you make that bond before probation comes to talk to you at the jail, don't go straight to Louisiana, go straight to probation. Okay, you've got to go straight there. She's going to give you some paperwork today that shows you where to go. You've got to do that interview and get that appointment made for that pre-sentence report. If you don't do that, then you run the risk of me not accepting the plea agreement. Things could be worse.
No, I understand.
And then also, if you're arrested for anything, obviously between the time you bond out and if you come back for sentencing, you've been arrested, then you run the risk of me not accepting that agreement. Okay, thank you, sir. You go back with bailiff. Thank you. See, Mr. Rojas, you've got Tressie Butcher to sentencing. Good morning. Are you Tressie Butcher?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is cause numbers 24 DCCR 1732 and 24 DCCR 1733. Ms. Butcher is on probation in each of those cases. One for burglary of the habitation, which was a 5-year deferred, and also an unauthorized use of a vehicle. And there were motions to adjudicate filed in each of those cases. And Ms. Butcher was previously here, pled true to counts 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I've received the updated report. This was not agreed. Has everyone received that and reviewed the report?
We have, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Are there any additions or corrections?
No, Your Honor.
Not from sir.
And what is this, it might say here. The new case is out of Harris County
She was placed on
probation, right?
probation and sent to the Santa Maria Rehabilitation Facility.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Rojas, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. And that's true, Judge. She was sent to Santa Maria through probation in Harris County. And as the PSI points, or the updated PSI points out, she left that facility. I spoke with her about that. She left that facility because there were open warrants out of Jefferson County. She wanted to take care of those warrants, not because she didn't want the help provided here. She tells me she does want to go back to the Santa Maria facility. And there they will help. She's got a 3-year-old son, in addition to being 6 months pregnant right now. And the facility is a facility that will allow her to bring her 3-year-old with her, as well as she will keep the newborn once that newborn is she's giving birth. And she does want the help that Santa Maria can provide, and she's willing to go back there. And that's what she wants the newborn to be once he's born or she is born. As far as what she wants to do with her life, she told me she has worked in the healthcare industry in the past, and she wants to go get her CNA licensing, and she wants to continue doing that when she gets out. She does have a letter she wants to read to you, Judge, and I think if this is the appropriate time, she wants to do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Dear Honor, I have been in jail since April 29, 2025. I left the rehab because I wanted to come back here to turn myself in.
Let me just stop you real quick right there, because the officer called Santa Maria, and the people at Santa Maria, according to what that officer put in this report, specifically said that you left the facility because you changed your mind.
I did not.
Hang on. Quote, Santa Maria is not the best option for me at this time. Are you saying you did not say
I
that?
did not say that. She know why I left because I had a warrant for my arrest and I didn't want the police to pick me up. I couldn't go to the DPS and get my ID and stuff. So I was gonna come back to Port Arthur, turn myself in, and then see, go from there. But I didn't leave because I didn't want the help. That's why I found out I was pregnant on March 31st. I found out I was pregnant. I was in that rehab. I left because they wanted me to go to get my ID and I couldn't go there because I had a warrant out for my arrest.
Okay, so you found out you were pregnant in March,
Yes.
and then you went and committed an evading arrest with a vehicle, a duty on striking an unattended vehicle, and an aggravated assault against a public servant a month later after you found out you were pregnant,
I was on drugs, Your Honor.
while you were pregnant.
Yeah, I made the mistake of leaving the rehab and I got on drugs and the next few days later I got arrested.
But you said you made the mistake of leaving the rehab, but you said you left the rehab to come and turn yourself
Yeah.
in. So
So
you
I
didn't
thought
leave the
it was-
hang on. So you didn't leave the rehab to come turn yourself in, because if you had, you would have come straight here and turned yourself in, and you wouldn't have these new
I had to
offenses.
catch the bus, so I had to go downtown, wait for the bus to come, and in that time, I caught a charge. I don't want to be separated from my baby, Your Honor. This is mine.
So in that time, hold on. So you had left the facility at least by April 17th.
Yes,
And then your new charges were April 29th.
yes,
So that's 12 days
Yes.
of waiting on a bus and catching a
I
charge?
didn't have the money, so I got the money together to catch the bus back out here, the Greyhound. And once I got the money, the day I was going downtown, I got arrested for trying to evade the police because I was on drugs. I was scared and I was on drugs.
So all the times that you failed to report to the probation office, March 7th, March 10th, hold on, there was a third one,
March 12th.
March 12th, April 10th.
I
So,
never knew I had all those dates after the 7th. After the 7th, I thought I was revoked already. After the first time I did report, I thought I had a warrant out for my arrest, and I went to the rehab.
but you talked to the probation officer
I
between
talked to
then,
her on the 7th.
and you talked to her ugly.
I got out of jail in March 6th in Harris County.
Mhm.
I called her that day.
Mm-hmm,
She wanted me to report the next day. I couldn't make it.
right.
So, I guess I talked to her within that week. I don't remember talking to her, but I didn't know that she was giving me more opportunities to report. I would have reported. I thought after the first time that was it.
The reason you probably don't remember all that is because I guess you were using drugs while you were pregnant.
ma'am.
Yeah,
I didn't know I was pregnant at first, and then I found out.
but then you kept
And I-
using drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need help, and Santa Maria is a good place, and they'll offer me mental health service, and I have an autoimmune disease that they offer treatment for. Jefferson County hasn't been giving me the medication for it, And since I've been here 52 days. They haven't given me any medication, so my baby can, yeah. I don't wanna say it out loud, what it is, but, I need the help that Santa Maria offers. I don't wanna be separated from my kids any longer. My 3-year-old is with somebody, a friend, and I wanna be him to be able to come with me. I wanna be able to keep my kids with me and get the help I need mentally and with the drugs.
So where do you actually live?
I live on 1825 17th Street,
What city?
Port Arthur.
So Santa Maria is what, 90 days?
It's up to 6 months to 18 months.
It was verified through the Harris County Community Supervision Court Liaison that the program is 6 months.
Yeah.
So where did you get the 6 months to 18 months?
They told me at Santa Maria when I was there, it's up to, you can stay up to 18 months.
Mr. Smith?
Judge, I spoke with Misty Hoffman, who was an assistant DA in Harris County, before they sent her to the Santa Maria program. They were thinking about doing that, and she tried to explain to me what it was, and I explained to her, our intention was not to keep her on probation, it was to seek a revocation in this case. I think everything that she had said up to this point kind of lends credence to the fact that probation is, she's not going to be successful on probation. I think even today, you can see that she gets, according to the PSI, becomes impatient, easily irritated, argumentative, and confrontational. She's been non-compliant basically since she started in on probation and has made no progress and has no plan. This is the first that we've heard that she even has a residence in Port Arthur. We had no idea that she had any kind of residence in Jefferson County. She didn't have one prior to this, so I don't even know whose house this is.
So here's the thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Talking over people,
Sorry.
being confrontational with your probation officer is not going to get you anywhere. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you have, what's the place in Port Arthur that you have to live?
It's a home, it's a house.
Whose house?
It's my,
If you're into real courtroom drama and no-nonsense judges who tell it like it is, make sure to subscribe. New real cases, real rulings, and real lessons every week.
house. I've been renting it
Since when?
since before I got on rehab. I've been using the same address.
Well, but
Before I got probation.
you told probation that you didn't come back here, hold on, because you were homeless.
I've never been homeless, ma'am.
You said that in the original pre-sentence
No,
report.
I told her I was at a motel and she assumed I was homeless, but I'm not homeless.
But originally, when I put you on probation,
I gave y'all 1825 17th Street, which is where I live.
if you had a residence here in Jefferson County and you were on probation here in Jefferson County, then why didn't you come back here when you got out like you were supposed to?
I tried to come back and I did come back. I didn't report because I thought I had a warrant out. I thought I was revoked already.
So you were just gonna wait it out until they came and caught you?
came to turn myself in and I got arrested. I was going to turn myself in.
Everything you're saying is conflicting. Because you're,
I'm here. I'm here.
yeah, you're here in custody and you're just, I think you've told so many lies to everybody that you don't know how to keep up with them.
It's no lie, ma'am. I was in Houston. I came back and I came back March 7th. I was here. I didn't report. I was on drugs.
So you were already here March 7th.
I was here March 7th. I was here. And then she told me to come in.
So there's no reason on March 7th that you couldn't have you were talking to her about needed a bus and all this stuff. That was all just lying back then.
No, I was in Harris County. I was in Harris County. I got here March 6th. She told me to report March 7th.
So if you were here March 7th.
Yes. Y'all know I was on drugs.
To our jail reports to the judge.
Can you please give me the help that I need and let me keep my kids?
I put you on probation in the first place to get the help that you need. I put you on probation. Hang on. I put you on probation for 2 felonies with all the resources we have to help you. And instead of taking advantage of those, you came back, you didn't go ask for help, you just had to show up one time and say, I need help, I'm pregnant, I'm using drugs, I need help. It's easy to say you need help when you've picked up 3 more felonies.
I didn't pick them up, they dismissed them, I only got 1. They dismissed the other ones.
Well, I'm sure that was part of some plea agreement. You still got arrested for 3
ma'am.
felonies, serious felonies. Not just little stuff, not a possession case.
Your Honor, please, I do not want to be a felon. I can't complete
Well,
this.
quit committing felonies.
Yes, ma'am, that's because of the drugs in it. I lost a baby last year. I had a stillborn at 7 months pregnant because of drugs. I need help with the drugs and rehabilitation.
Maybe you
This spray takes 15 minutes and it protects your car for 8 months. Sounds like a scam, right? But watch this.
need to stop getting pregnant for a while.
Yes, ma'am.
Looked like one of the jail incidents also involved an assault of another inmate and an attempted threw a bar of soap and actually hit one of the correctional officers and tried to swing on one of the other correctional officers.
That is okay.
What
I
that?
never tried to assault a correction officer at this
Okay.
time.
No.
Like jail, prison time, and no.
Let me take a.
Linda, I have to run down to the office for a few minutes. Will you please hold the fort down while I'm gone? Thank you. Okay, I'm back. It seems that Amazon didn't want to deliver the package to my door and left it by the mailbox. So the service coordinator got it and called me, and I had to go down there and get it because it was something important to me. I swear.
So why did you refuse to go to the hospital when you fell?
Because I was feeling okay and I had a doctor's appointment coming up. I was gonna tell her. The last time I told them I slipped and fell, they didn't do anything in the jail, so I was gonna wait till I go to my doctor's appointment.
But they wanted you to go to the hospital to get checked out.
I didn't know they wanted me to go to the hospital. They just had me sitting in the infirmary.
So you supposedly said you fell, you were refusing to go to the hospital. They told you the doctor wanted you to go to the hospital. You said that you would go, but asked if you could go back to your dorm first. And they said, we're not doing all that back and forth. You asked if you would be transported via van or EMS. They said, don't worry about that. Then you said, I refuse, I'm not going to the hospital.
That's when I talked to Dr. Kim. Dr. Kim told me whatever was wrong, I could tell the doctor when I went to the doctor. So that's what I was waiting on.
So they're making it up that doctor wanted you to go to the hospital.
They wanted me to go, and I told them I was going to wait until.
So, but that makes me, you're not taking care of yourself and your baby.
My baby is fine.
How do you know? If you fell and hit your head and they wanted you to go get checked out at the hospital, then how do you know she's fine or he's fine? You don't know.
No.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Go sit down for a minute. Mr. Rojas, you have Jacob.
Too quick of a break.
Yeah, I just needed to. All right, Miss Butcher. Sorry we made you wait so long. I hear that you were a little disappointed in that in the back.
He's full of something.
I'm scared. I've never been in prison.
Yeah, well, based on everything that I've already said, based on the fact that you stood here and told different stories about every single thing you said, based on the fact that you've already lost a baby and you're lucky you didn't lose this one, and who knows what's going to happen with this one because you were using drugs, based on the fact that you got felonies while you were on a felony probation, based on the fact that this lady here was trying to help you. You already left the place that you were given an opportunity to go to. Does probation have anything else to add, Ms. Kaur?
Judge, just that I'm really concerned about the non-compliances she's had at the jail.
Same.
I'm really concerned about that.
So here's what I'm going to do, Ms. Butcher, in cause number 24, DCCR 1732. I feel like you've given me no choice but to make sure that your child and children are safe and that the community's safe. I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. In 24 DCCR 1732, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time, find you guilty of burglary of a habitation. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 10 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. In cause number 24 DCCR 1733, I'm going to find those counts true, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of unauthorized use of a vehicle, sentence you to a term of 2 years in the state jail prison. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm going to need that signed. These cases will run concurrently, which means together at the same time.
Why would you separate me from my kids?
You separated yourself from your
This
kid.
is my first time being in prison.
Let me tell you,
I've been in jail
listen,
4 months.
I got 10 more years I can add. Hold on, you're not going anywhere. Hold on, you're not done.
That's not right.
I'm handing you the trial court certification. You had chances. I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was not an agreement. You do have some rights to appeal. You can talk to Mr. Rojas about that. I'm also handing you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition.
Hey, Jerry.
Possession of a
She's
firearm or
fine.
ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term. You should read the written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. You need to sign that and I'll give you a copy of it. If you had showed me that you could behave in our jail, there might have been some other things that I would consider, but
Thank you.
there you go. You can go back with the bailiff.
Thank you so much for separating me from my kids.
You woman.
Today's session under Judge Raquel West gave
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words,
You're Marcus Elam. And Mr. Elam was previously in court, pled true to counts 1 through 7 in a motion to revoke unadjudicated probation on probation for burglary of a habitation. I've received an updated pre-sentence report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report? Are there any additions or corrections to the report?
No, nothing to the bench, Judge.
And it was unagreed. Mr. Lewis, you may proceed.
Judge, this is a situation where it's no doubt that Mr. Elam made several mistakes while he was on his probation, not following up on his obligations. After speaking with him, he's been in custody this length of time here. He is definitely, from what he's telling me, willing and wanting to comply with the court's orders, and feels as though he could successfully complete this probation, given that opportunity. He understands that his mistakes, has definitely been costly and put him in this decision. He understands that's totally on top of him, and of course he would like to address the court as well as far as his plans for the future, Judge.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry for my actions that I did when I was on probation. And if you really, I would like to start over and get right, live with my family, go back to work, help my mother out, give her bills, and everything else, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Judge, I'm sorry, I was gonna say, Judge, if I may, one of the biggest issues I explained and talked to Mr. Elam about was him not reporting like he was supposed to do over that span of time. And they expressed to me that at that time, he was dealing with the death of his grandmother, as far as I think she was a big part of his support system. He does have, I've been in contact, several members of his family have contacted me about him, so he does have a support system that's there. I think she was a big part of it. And after she passed away, I think he kind of went astray at that point, my understanding, Judge.
What is the status of the 5 new offenses that are alleged?
I believe they should all be.
What happened? So what was the deadly conduct from August of 2023? What was the outcome of I guess I'm trying to figure out what happened on all of them.
My understanding, Judge, is he has cases that are pending in misdemeanor court, but nothing here, Judge, that's been accepted as any additional.
He pled true to the deadly conduct, discharging a firearm, from August 16th of 2023. Anna, can you tell?
I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't look him up after he pled true.
I know, I just want to know if I want to know that. I want to know the evading, the failure to ID from February of this year. I want to know what the status of everything is.
I know those are still pending. He hasn't gone to court on those yet, right? Right. next door.
Candy color.
Mainly, the August 16th, 2023 offense dates are the two deadly conducts. I want to know what the status of those are.
Which,
And PCs, if you can find them.
There was a previous podcast in here.
There's two deadly conducts that should be somewhere, something, somebody should know something about from 2023.
There was an obstruction in 2023 that was dismissed.
birthday gentleman.
I don't have anything on deadly conducts.
What's the offense date of that one, the 2023?
3/23.
Daily conducts from August of 23 were refused, Your Honor.
Do you have any, I guess if they were refused, you don't have any documentation or PC
I'm
or?
not sure the reason, Your Honor. Right now.
Thank you.
There's not. Just said unlikely to prove. That's all I want.
I mean, he pled true to it, so obviously there's that. All right, Ms. Malfina, what's your state's position?
Judge, I'm kind of torn on him. Obviously, the concern is the length of time he absconded. I mean, it wasn't just a month or two. They looked for him for almost 2 years, a year and a half at least. And in that interim time period, regardless of them having been filed or refused or whatnot by the intake division, he has pled true to at least the court standard of having committed all of those new offenses while on probation, although he has no felony convictions. It looks to me like you ordered him to ISF cognitive in 23. Mr. Lewis had made mention that he never went. I don't know if they didn't have a bed for him and eventually he timed out of that, or something happened and the new offenses came up and they wouldn't take him.
I think when he had the prior NTRP, I don't know if it was at the new case or a prior NTRP, I'm not sure, but ISF was ordered, but at some point, I guess after he timed out or something because he was released from the jail.
Do you have a record of that?
He hasn't been. He wasn't able to due to pending legal issues at the time, and he was ordered to complete moral reclamation therapy in lieu of, but he never.
So it was the new offenses that were holding him up.
Correct.
It looks like there was a non-prosecution affidavit on that assault maybe.
You think you're fine after a car accident until this happens. Most people don't realize that even
He pled true to it.
Correct.
So,
I just want to let you know.
yes, perfect. Thank you. So this is this. So there was a motion to revoke back in 2023. And I'm guessing continued on probation in August or sometime, right? Or did we never do anything on that because then it was amended, first amended?
That's the one who's ordered ISF.
In March of 23, he pled true to that.
March.
Assault, family violence, the deadly conduct, obviously before it was refused, and you ordered him to ISF cognitive, plus the MRT program. And subsequently, there was another NTR.
So you get an opportunity to be on probation for a burglary of a habitation. And I'm going to really make sure I've got this right. So you get deferred probation for burglary of a habitation, second degree felony. You get out, you commit 3 new offenses. 2 deadly conducts, discharging a firearm, and an assault family violence on that same date. Regardless of what's come of those cases, you've admitted that something happened on that day, right? So you come in front of me on a motion to revoke your probation. I say, okay, let's give you an opportunity to go to ISF. But because I guess something else must have been pending, maybe misdemeanors or something, you don't go to ISF. So you end up just getting out, getting another opportunity, and then you go and evade arrest or detention and fail to ID. We're back here again. And you want to start over and you're sorry.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Think about how that sounds.
Yeah, I don't think so, homeboy.
And you just quit going for 2 years, a year and a half, year and 7 months. You just think you were going to get to be out and we were going to forget about you? You know, I mean, golly. How old are you now?
23.
23. You started this when you were 19. Feel like you're not taking advantage and you're not growing up and making better decisions.
And I think Ms. Vizes tried to work with him when he would show up to work with her, so, I mean, I don't object to revocation, Judge, as many opportunities that we've given.
I mean, I don't know that it makes sense for me to do anything else. And it's just so frustrating, honestly, for me, for the young people to keep coming in here with offenses that have to do with shooting. While you're on probation for a felony, you're shooting. Then you get out again and you violate again and you take off. So I can't give you a 4th shot. That you've had your shots. I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1 through 7 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of burglary of a habitation. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 6 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm going to hand you the trial court certification that shows this was not an agreement. You need to sign that and you'll get a copy of it. You do have some rights to appeal. You can talk to Mr. Lewis about that. I'm also handing you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read the written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk to Mr. Lewis. Good luck to you. You can go back with the bailiff.
This weird Japanese trick shrinks your belly fast.
This is the gelatin recipe that took me from 100.
Ms. Dawson, you tested positive for THC, which I think you anticipated, but you also tested positive for ecstasy or MDMA.
Wait. He just said it was a steroid, though. And I got a shot. I went to the hospital. I had a bad UTI. It was bad to the point where they had to give me a shot in my butt. They told me to get in my butt, or right here. I told them I wanted to get in my butt.
When was that?
Just last week. But MDMA, like, what is ecstasy?
All right, here's what we're gonna do.
No, I don't like that. Like, that's making me look bad. That's making me look bad.
Well, listen, Miss Dawson, listen.
I don't like
There's worse things in here that are making you look bad than testing positive for that. Just listen. All right, you're gonna get your probation. I'm gonna do that today, but there's gonna be some conditions so that I make sure that you're not using anything that you're not supposed to, including gummies or anything that you think whatever it is,
And can I tell
you
you
don't,
this? I'm not an abuser. Last year I was just working for the state of Texas. I'm not an abuser at all. I don't. The medicine
Listen.
that I get, no, I just want to know. Like,
that's,
I'm not
we're
I'm
gonna
not
find
a
out,
bad
then you
person.
should, then you're not gonna have trouble.
I feel like that's making me look bad. And I
Listen,
get
Miss Dawson, Miss Dawson, just pay attention to me for a minute, okay? You're okay, all right? Anything that makes you look bad or that you feel like isn't true, all you have to do if you're gonna be on probation is be successful on probation, and that's all we all want, okay?
No, I
So
just
listen,
wanted you to
just,
know.
you already told me, you've already said it, okay? I understand that you're not sure what this is. Maybe it's from the shot. It's okay, all right? We're gonna make sure from this point forward that you don't have any issues with, you'll have certain rules on probation to follow, and then there won't be any issues, right?
Yes, but
Okay.
I wasn't talking about that. I was just trying to express to you, which I know you did say I was gonna have my time to talk. I'm not, I just want you to know, I'm not an abuser. I
Okay,
don't-
you said
I
that.
don't abuse
Okay,
drugs, like I just.
you said that. You've already said it.
I told you, I told you.
But listen, the most important thing is that you figure out how to get your life together for your child. That's what we're really here about today. That you make better decisions than leaving a 2-year-old in a hotel by themselves. That's what I'm worried about. Do you understand? Not a THC gummy, not whatever other thing that happened today. I want you to get your life together. You're young. You have had issues. You didn't, I see what's going on with your family in here. But we want to break whatever cycle that you've been a part of so that you can be there for your child. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Okay, that's what we want. The best for you, the best for your child, for you to be able to make those better decisions. All right? So I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty previously, freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney. I'm going to defer all proceedings, place you on probation for 3 years. You're ordered to pay the $300 fine and to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. That is going to include being assessed for any special needs that you need, any counseling, whatever it is you need, we're going to have you assessed for that. And if they say you need to go to a counselor or you need it, whatever it is, those are things to help you, and you're going to be required to do them. Do you understand? You'll obviously be required to test regularly. So any type of gummy, any type of anything, doesn't matter if they say in the
So
shop,
young.
test pod, don't do any of them.
Kids having
Because
kids.
even if you go buy it legally, I can't know the difference. It's just going to show up on a test. So don't do any of that. If you need some help with something making you feel better, then go through that counseling and do it the right way through a doctor. Okay?
Seems so young. Kids having kids.
Good.
Something that our generation didn't do, I don't
Good.
think.
I just don't like feeling like dead inside.
We're the respectful generation.
I know. And I know there's certain medicines and they don't make you feel
That's
great.
my only thing. I just be
But you
feeling
can't.
disconnected from being a parent.
Right. Well, talk to them about that because there's probably other medicines that they can try.
Yeah, I will
Okay.
tomorrow.
But what you don't want to do is stop taking that medicine and then self-medicate with a gummy or something like that. Okay. That's what you can't do. So continue talking to them. Say, I don't like the way this one makes me feel. Let's try something different. And they'll find something that eventually makes you feel right, kind of in a balance. Okay. If you do everything you're supposed to while you're on this probation, this is an excellent opportunity. You don't have criminal history. You're not going to be a convicted felon. If you successfully complete it, the case gets dismissed at the end. You're going to get to be a mom. You're going to get regular jobs, do all the things that everybody else does, okay? The other side of that is if you violate any condition of probation. So if you don't show up for appointments, you test positive, you get arrested or whatever, you can be brought back in here and you can be found guilty. So you would be a convicted felon. And then you could go to the state jail prison for up to 2 years. Do you understand? All right. You just need to have a seat here in the courtroom. Probation's going to call you up when she's ready to go over your paperwork. Okay.
And I do want to apologize for me over talking to you. That's not my character.
That's okay. You're nervous. I know you're nervous. I know. We're good. All right. Good luck to you, ma'am. Oh, here's the, hold on, I didn't hand this. It's a trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, so you've waived your right to appeal. So just have a seat here in the courtroom and wait for her to call you up.
Do you know the real reason behind memory lapses? Well, I suffered with dementia for 3 years until I discovered this magic.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're Christopher Bushnell?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Bushnell, you were previously in court, entered pleas of guilty to the third-degree felony offense of evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle, and the second-degree felony offense of engaging in organized criminal activity. Those were for agreements of a 10-year probation deferred in each of those cases. I have received the pre-sentence report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any additions or corrections to the report?
Just that it may indicate that he doesn't take full responsibility, but after speaking with him, he does take full responsibility for his actions and involvement in both cases.
I've also reviewed jail incident reports. Have you both been given a copy of those?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're 17 now?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think he turns 18 until.
December 26th.
And Judge, if we need to go back and renegotiate an offer, obviously he's not even out of custody yet, and this is how he's acting.
Well, and
Your Honor, obviously due to his age, I want him to have the opportunity to get his life together, obviously not going into adulthood with felony convictions. I have preached to him the importance of following the rules and not.
And you can't do it, can you?
Okay.
You cannot. 21 incident reports since January 25th of this year. 21. Fighting, calling officers names, stealing food, instigating fights, being a bully to other people in the dorm. Ridiculous. So if you can't follow rules in the jail, what makes you think you're going to come in here and I'm going to say, sure, go be on probation out in our community? After y'all shotgun, I mean, this is serious. I'm tired of the shootings. I'm tired of people, you could have killed somebody. And because you accidentally didn't kill somebody, you get to get a probation. Not today. If I could send you to ISF, I would consider it. I can't. At this point, I'm going to reject the plea agreements. We will set the cases for a review in about 30 days. Let's see where we are, go over his options, y'all talk. If I can always do, upfront time, but we've got to get to a certain point where that would make sense. And so at this time, I'm just going to reset the cases. Again, I'm rejecting these plea agreements. And let me tell you, you get more of these, it's only going to get worse. I'm going to see them. A jury's probably going to see them if you, not probably, a jury will see them if you go to trial. And you're going to end up in prison for up to 20 years because you can't follow the rules in our jail and you're acting like a little punk. So go stop acting like a punk, prove that you can behave, then we'll see what happens. When you come back next, I'll see how many of these I have. Go back with the bailiff.
I give him the 20 years.
The one allegation that would have been proved up is a misdemeanor assault from last year that was never filed by the police department.
Okay.
It looks like we don't need to proceed on that.
So it looks like the recommendation is substance abuse.
ISS, or substance abuse, ISS.
Well, it actually says substance abuse cognitive, and we can't do both. So
Is there one more than the other that we won't benefit? Understanding that the problems are both cognitive and drug related. In your opinion, what do you think is best?
Cognitive first would just be like aftercare.
okay, that would make sense.
And so that would be I understand it's in an agreement, I don't think, but this is what we're asking the court to do based on the pleas that have been entered in the probation's report.
I guess you're on the record. In talking with Mr. Blunt, I think that he will do, obviously he's not going to refuse ISF, but he was going to suggest that he's using, or has used marijuana or THC in the past to cope with anxiety issues in lieu of ISF, to perhaps try to pursue something through NHMR.
Well, he didn't just use THC, he also used methamphetamine, and I'm pretty sure that's not very good for anxiety.
Well, he's not contesting ISF.
Yeah. So, Mr. Blunt, you're on probation for an extremely serious offense. I could be sending you to prison today for a very long time for violating your probation. Sounds like probation's willing to work with you. You've done some positive things while you're on probation, which are good, that you are going to treatment. You've made a great deal of progress. Those are the things that I'm really concerned about, but they're not the only things I'm concerned about. You've got to follow all of the rules, not just some of them. You've got to get this drug deal kicked. If you don't, you're going to go to prison over drugs instead of really what you or the underlying offense is. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to give you the opportunity. We're going to give you treatment. You take advantage of it and change that part of your life. Great. If you don't, you're back in here, and this is going to be zero tolerance. There's no messing up at this point.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If the treatment that you're getting through JCDI is not enough, it's going to be up to you to be a grown-up and go to probation and say, I'm feeling tempted, I need more help. Nobody wants to go into custody for more help, but it's better to go in for 90 days than it is to go to prison for up to 20 years, right? Okay, so in cause number 15-21380, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 2 and 3 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty and revoke your probation, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to follow the recommendation of the district attorney and probation and continue you on probation in order that you enter and successfully complete the cognitive track of the ISF program. And then when you're released, you will enter and successfully complete the JCDI program. These programs are doing two different things. The first one is to help you make better decisions. It's about thinking and making better decisions. The JCDI program is the drug intervention program to help you with what you need, hopefully, to stop using drugs. So you're going to have all the tools that you need to make these better decisions, and then it's going to be up to you. Continue doing everything you're supposed to through your treatment and other things like that. It sounds like that hasn't been an issue. You're still on a deferred probation. You're still not convicted of this offense. If you're back in here again, in all likelihood, you will be convicted and you will be going to prison for a very long time. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah. If you would see where she is.
Hey boss, just arrived on site. Gearing up now.
Time theft. It's costing your business.
Good morning. You're Antoine Dill.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Dill, you were previously in court and entered pleas of true to counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. On probation for the second-degree felony offense of burglary of a habitation, placed on probation. I think the dates in this updated report are, I must be wrong. It says on May 8th, 2025, he met with the high needs officer for the initial visit. Should that be May 2024?
Yes.
Okay, all right, just want to make sure. So, placed on probation back in April of 2024 for that offense. The allegations, failure to report, failure to work, testing positive, that didn't do the theft prevention class, behind in fees, and behind in restitution. There was no agreement, is that correct?
That's correct.
That's correct, Judge.
Mr., and I've received an updated pre-sentence report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
You have, Judge.
Any additions or corrections to that report?
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
Not from the state, other than if Ms. Court has anything additional.
Okay.
I would like to hear from.
Thank you, ma'am. Go ahead, Mr. Lewis.
Judge, this situation, from talking with my client as well as members of his family, is definitely one that his substance abuse issue is something that he definitely needs to address. He's willing to, he understands that that's, definitely been in his way as far as definitely trying to complete his probation successfully. I would also like to add to that after speaking with him and well as some of his family members that I don't believe he was on any type of mental health or any type of conditions dealing with his probation.
He was
I know it's
high needs. Mm-hmm.
Because from talking with him, there's definitely some things he has gone through in his past that I think affect him and are triggers for him. And I believe that, if he's able to get that type of help, to help with that, I think that would definitely help with the substance abuse issue. I believe there are vehicles available through community supervision that can address that. He's more than willing to accept that help. At this point, understands he needs it. I know it looks like the recommendation in the updated PSI on probation is for ISF. It's something that they would recommend. He's more than willing to comply with that and try to work with that as much as possible. If there is anything that's available that has some type of aftercare or anything, he's more than willing to do that as well. Especially, like I was saying, as far as, any treatment he can get as far as, that would definitely help with some of the traumatic things he's gone through in his past. I think that would definitely help with the substance abuse issue going forward for him, Judge.
Okay, and the recommendation isn't necessarily ISF, it's if I were to continue, but the recommendation sounds like they've exhausted all efforts that, anyway, Ms. Smolfino?
Judge, I certainly respect all the efforts that Ms. Court has put into this defendant, and I don't ever like to overstep what the recommendation of the probation department is with respect to trying to help a probationer, but my read of it is that it's probably time for revocation, but I certainly would defer to what you all.
Well, it sounds like that's the recommendation of probation as well, really. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I mean, sure, go ahead.
Please speak. I have made a lot of mistakes in my life. I really have. But I beg you, Your Honor, please give me another chance.
But you begged me when you were here before.
Yes, ma'am. And I got out, and the second day I was back on the streets. I did not have a plan for my life outside of just getting free. I met with the ASAP team, and they really gave me a lot of inspiration, a lot of hope so that I can change my life. Granted, Ms. Court has done an amazing job as my supervisor, and I apologize to her profusely, but I am not someone who wants to waste away in a jail cell.
Well, so here's the thing, Mr. Deal. When I looked back at your original pre-sentence report,
yes, ma'am.
There wasn't an agreement in that case. It was a cap. And the reason for that cap is because you already have felony criminal history.
Yes, ma'am.
You've already had 2 felony probations that were both revoked.
Yes.
And then I gave you probation again because you stood there and did just what you're doing right now. You saying the words.
Please.
You need to stop because it's not going to get any better.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
By what you can say. I appreciate that you probably would like to do what you're saying,
Yes, ma'am.
but you've been given every opportunity. Probation's worked with you. Again, those felony probation revocations, one was in 19, one was in 2021. It's not like they were a long time ago. You've been given every opportunity on probations now 3 times. 3 times. And she worked with you. When I'm reading through this pre-sentence report, Ms. Core tried to contact you. She tried to reschedule.
I was just texting her. I was homeless. I have been homeless a lot of my life.
But that's what probation's for, is to help you. You have to go to probation. You can't keep using those things as an excuse.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1 through 6 freely and voluntarily.
Yes, ma'am.
Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of burglary of a habitation. Going to sentence you to a term of 5 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm going to hand you the trial court certification. I need you to sign that with Mr. Lewis. It shows that this was not an agreement, so you do have some limited rights to appeal. I'm also handing you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read that written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk to Mr. Lewis. I understand this isn't what you want. Take advantage of it, and when you get out, take advantage of opportunities in the community, because there are some that can help you. All right? You can go back with
Say one last thing to you, Judge. I will change my life.
I hope so, for you.
For me.
Yeah, I hope so. I really, truly do. All right, sign that document, please, sir.
There's one simple warm water trick that anyone can use to improve eyesight almost overnight. Thousands of people are
All right, are you Victoria Bailey? Yes, ma'am. And Ms. Bailey is 25 DCCR 0170 charged with assault on a public servant, and in 25 DCCR 0278 charged with assault of hospital personnel. And Ms. Bailey was evaluated for competency to stand trial by Dr. Capon. I received that report dated April 22nd of 2025. Dr. Capon makes the finding in each of these cases that Ms. Bailey is currently not competent to stand trial, and that inpatient treatment for competency restoration is warranted. Is there any other evidence with regard to competency, Mr. Parker?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Nichols?
No, Your Honor.
Then at this time, based on that report, I am going to find Ms. Bailey not competent to stand trial. Order that inpatient treatment for competency restoration be provided at the appropriate facility, and that at that facility for a period of not to exceed 120 days from the date Ms. Bailey gets there, and we will await to hear if she has been restored at the end of that 120 days. You can go back with the bailiff, ma'am.
120 days?
Well, they're going to send you to a hospital to get you some help to make sure you understand everything better. And so cooperate with everything they want you to do, and we'll get you back here and get your cases taken care of, okay?
So I'm going to the hospital, then back to jail?
Yes, ma'am.
120 days at the hospital?
Well, it depends if you do what they say at the hospital and follow all the instructions, medication, whatever it is, so that you have a better understanding of everything that's going on, okay?
I don't need medicine to understand.
You can go back with the bailiff.
I don't get it. Why y'all taking me to the hospital, then back to jail? What does that mean?
Good morning, sir. Are you Esker Boykin?
Yes, ma'am.
And will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment?
You will, Your Honor.
Mr. Boykin, in cause number 25 DCCR 0351, the state has elected to proceed on the lesser included offense of a Class A misdemeanor assault from March 5th of 2025. And how do you plead to that charge?
No contest.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
I have here on the computer some documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed those documents on the computer, did you go over them with Mr. Parker?
It's that paper, computer room over.
Yeah.
And do you understand what you signed with him?
Not all not clear set in my mind, but
Okay. Well, do you understand that if I follow this agreement that you've made, which is for a 2-year deferred probation, that you wouldn't be able to change your mind later.
Yeah.
Okay, and you understand that the agreement that you've reached.
What is probation? It's
So-
my first time
It's flex.
criminal. Nah, it's a criminal.
So,
I feel as a criminal.
all right.
It's affected disorder.
Right, understand, Mr. Park.
As I know, I was in jail and I blacked out. The next thing I know, I'm in the hospital.
Okay,
I go to Spindle Top now.
I understand. I need to make sure.
I've explained to him, Judge, that the required probation, he'd have to report once a month. He has some fines and fees that we go with that. There's no fine, there's just the court costs.
Probation is where you have a supervision officer that makes sure you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. Community.
What?
Not in trouble.
In trouble for what?
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to reset the case, Mr. Boykin. I'm gonna have a doctor come visit with you to make sure you understand everything that's going on before we go forward, okay? So when they come out to the jail or visit with you online, you need to make sure and visit with them, answer all their questions. Yes, sir. I gotta make sure, I gotta make sure you understand everything that's going
That's
on.
my first time blacking out like that. I was in jail and I
Okay.
didn't get fed. I was naked
Okay,
and I blacked out.
we're gonna go back with the
That's my
bailiff.
first time I was doing anything like this.
We're gonna make sure you can go back with the bailiff. Go ahead.
Oh.
To uplift.
I have brain damage from StreamYard not doing what it's supposed to be doing sometimes.
Lift Americans on Medicare, his first Divine Act gifts Medicare Americans
I'm telling you, I'm not guilty. That's what I'm telling you. I did not have a choice. I have doctor. I have went to the hospital and everything.
All right, ma'am, are you Devin Atkins? And Miss Atkins is on probation for the third-degree felony offense of injury to an elderly person. That's started at May 23rd of 2022. There was a motion to adjudicate probation filed. She entered pleas of true to counts 4 and 5. Does the state have testimony with regard to counts 1, 2, and 3?
Yes, the court would like.
Yep, I think, yes, ma'am. Good morning, Ms. Cole. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Ms. Coleman, would you please state your full name for the record?
Shiki Pickle.
How are you employed?
I'm employed at Jackson County Adult Probation.
And as a adult probation officer, is it your responsibility to supervise an individual on this court's probation by the name of Devin Atkins?
Yes.
Do you see Ms. Atkins in the courtroom here today?
Yes.
Can you point to her and identify her?
Right here in the blue jumpsuit.
Your amended record reflect Ms. Cole has identified the probationer Devin Atkins.
Record will so reflect.
And Ms. Cole, as with every probationer, when they are placed on the court's probation, are they given the rules and restrictions placed upon them and what they are supposed to do to follow the court order?
Yes.
And each one of those in detail is gone over with them so that they understand everything that they're required to do.
Yes.
Was Ms. Atkins so advised?
Yes.
At her intake?
She was advised at her intake and at a TTM at the Melton Center in person.
Okay, and describe for the court what a TTM is.
A treatment team meeting.
Okay, so in your opinion, Ms. Cole, as her probation officer, was Ms. Atkins fully apprised and aware of what she was required to do on probation?
Yes.
And were in fact the majority of those things intended to help her?
Yes.
Was she advised that she was to report to the Community Supervision Department when directed by yourself and the court?
Yes.
And did Ms. Atkins, based on your review of the file, fail to do that on multiple dates, including but most likely not limited to November 4th of 2024, November 19th of 24, and, and was that in violation of her probation order?
Yes.
Did you address that with her and inform her it is important to report if you have something coming up and you can let me know?
Yes.
And did she do that?
No.
Was Ms. Atkins, as a condition of said probation, ordered to perform community supervision hours?
Yes.
And and to report those to you?
Yes.
Obviously, if you do not know that she has completed them, even if she has, is that a violation of her probation?
Yes.
To your knowledge, based on your review of her file and your supervision of her, did she either complete the hours or immediately report to you. Sorry, I'm reading that one.
Mhm.
No wonder everyone's looking at me.
I was about to, I know, I was about to,
Community service. Well, that is in fact a condition of probation, right? Is it also a condition of probation that she is to report to you at her address and so that you know where she is at all times?
Yes.
And if she does not do that, is it impossible for you to locate her?
That is correct.
Did she in fact immediately report to you her current address?
No, she did not.
Most importantly, based on Ms. Atkins' underlying offense and her issues, was she ordered or did she attend the safety program?
She attended safety, she completed the unit placements and the residential aftercares, but each time that she went for the supported outpatient, she didn't complete, so she didn't complete.
Okay, and was that failure to provide verification of attending safety a violation of her probation?
Yes.
And did that go hand in hand with her failing to successfully complete safety, which is to include any aftercare programs?
Correct.
And she did fail to successfully complete the entirety of the safety program as ordered?
That's correct.
And again, addressing those issues, is she ordered to submit at your direction and court's direction to alcohol and/or drug screening?
Yes, she is.
Was she ordered to do so on October 30th of 24, November 7th of 24, November 12th of 24, and November 13th of 24, and November 16th of 24?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, based on the review of her file, did she fail to do that?
She did fail to do that.
With respect to the entirety of Ms. Atkins' case, if I may, if this is the appropriate time, Judge, is there anything else? I know you and I have had a lengthy discussion about her that you feel would be appropriate for the court to know in conjunction with your testimony and her PSI?
The main thing is her mental health. She refuses to address that. We've made appointments for her with Spinal Tap and she didn't attend the appointments. She's 100% when she was out unmedicated. So that kind of interfered with her completing her services. And she maintained contact with the victim in the case. So okay. That part, her grandmother was trying to be there for her because of the mental health difficulties. And that's the main thing that we were trying to get her to address.
Okay.
Can I address something?
In a minute. Mr. Lewis, do you have any questions? Hold on, ma'am. You're going to get an opportunity, okay? Mr. Lewis, do you have any questions of Ms. Cole?
Just briefly, during your supervision of Ms. Atkins, were you able to supervise her at points when she was on her medication and not on her medication?
The entire time she has not been on her medication.
So she's been unmedicated this entire time?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nothing else.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Cole. Any other witnesses with regard to the allegations? Based on the testimony,
Unless I may ask, Ms. Cole, Judge,
Yeah.
and you stated that earlier, Ms. Evelyn Thibodeau, I believe that is her grandmother, correct?
Yes, definitely.
hold on, ma'am.
At some point in time in November of 2024, was Ms. Atkins violating the condition the court had imposed that she not to have contact with Ms. Thibodeau for Ms. Thibodeau's safety?
Yes.
Any questions about that? About
No.
the count, that's count 8 with the contact? Okay. Then, at this time, based on the testimony, I am going to find count 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, and 8. True.
Cole, he's my miracle child. So how does your miracle child get cancer? How does that happen?
There was a mass. Basically,
Again, there were pleas of true to counts 4 and 5 previously. I've received an updated pre-sentence report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
Yes, ma'am, Judge.
Any additions or corrections to that report?
No, from the defense, Judge.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor, unless Ms. Cole has something to add.
Do you have anything to add that's not already in your report?
No.
So the main thing I want to make sure, Ms. Cole, I have a notation here to ask is, you guys were aware of mental health issues and had opportunities for Ms. Atkins to participate in mental health services. Is that correct?
I made the appointments myself for her.
Okay. All right. Argument, Mr. Lewis?
Well, Judge, I think definitely from the updated PSI we have, as well as I think there was some issues from the jail. If you look at those issues and activity, I think that goes directly to her mental health state. Unfortunately, she has not been on a mental health caseload. I think that definitely would benefit her, as well as, being able to take advantage of any services that spinal-tap inmate Jamar may have, or any programs that probation deems appropriate for her. I have had conversations with her and meaningful conversations with her where she has addressed to me her desire to take advantage of those activities if those available to me. She did understand that she had the safety opportunity. It didn't go well, but I don't think the mental health issues were addressed, mainly just substance abuse at that point. I think if we can get a handle on that or get some work done with her to address the mental health issues, I think she'll do a lot better in this situation and can be able to complete this assessment.
I mean, as far as when
Hold on.
Jamar is not taking patients.
Well, it sounds like you had appointments that you missed that Ms. Cole made for you. Did she go to regular Safe P or special? Hold on.
Special needs.
So she's already been to special needs Safe P. So that was a whole 6 months plus aftercare of drug and mental health help. So Ms. Atkins, the problem is you're being given all the opportunities.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't know if I told you, I had an appointment in Port Arthur because I cannot get into Bowman. They're not taking new patients.
So you had an appointment that Ms. Cole set for you, at least one, how many?
Yeah, but it's not for medicine. It's for psycho. I'm not a psycho. I don't have those problems. I mean, some people do that. No.
Well, you obviously we don't know what you need because you won't even go do the evaluation. That it sounds like you haven't been on medication that would be, what?
Evaluation where?
At Spinal Top.
That's what I'm telling you. That's not, I don't have that. I'm not a psychopath. That is for.
It's psychopath. Nobody's saying you're a psychopath, but you have.
It's called past program. I'm not a psychopath. That's what I'm
That's not what it's called, and that's not the reason it's called that, okay? If you had gone to your appointment and talked to them, then you would know what that was for, and you would know that it was meant to help you so that you could get on medication, stabilize, and not have the issues that you've been having. I'm going to find that you previously entered your, I'm sorry, Ms. Malfino, did you have anything to add?
No, Judge, I think that from my conversation with Ms. Cole, she's been gracious enough to offer to continue to work with her because I think she clearly sees the mental health issues. But as you can see, what Ms. Cole has been having to deal with is how the court has had to deal with Ms. Atkins today, and it's been kind of just a runaround circle.
Well, and in addition, I am going to find judicial notice of the court's file. Ms. Atkins was evaluated for competency to stand trial not that long ago. I think it was in January of this year. And I have that report. And the finding is that Ms. Atkins is competent, understands the nature of the proceedings, and is then just really making a choice not to follow through with what programs have been given to you, Ms. Atkins, to try to help you. So at this time, any recommendation as far as,
I have one more thing to say.
okay?
She is not giving me the information needed to follow up with those type of things.
Okay, well, I don't
She doesn't
believe
have
you.
them.
I don't believe you.
You don't
Ms.
believe
Cole
me?
would never say, go do something and not tell you where to go or help you get there.
No, she says she does not have a list of the community service.
I'm not worried about your community service. I'm worried about your mental health. And the fact that you're not doing what you need to, and you're still contacting the victim, and it's a serious case. And so I got to protect society, unfortunately, because you're not choosing to do the things
I
that.
was gonna die, so I really didn't have much of a choice.
Okay.
It's my life in jeopardy.
I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 4 and 5 freely and voluntarily. Again, I'm finding counts 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, and 8 true. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time, find you guilty. Don't talk over. I'm about to sentence you to prison, and how you keep talking over me is about to start adding years onto that. Stop talking. It's just going to get worse. Do you understand? Okay. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time, I'm finding you guilty of injury to an elderly individual. Sentence you to a term of 5 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit. you will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody, that the law gives you the right to receive. No.
I'm telling, like, she thought, like, I could not get up there.
I'm going to hand you the trial court certification that shows this
I would
was,
like to speak to a detective.
this was not an agreement, and so you waived your right to appeal. I need you to sign that with
I gave you
her.
hospital papers. I gave her everything.
I'm also
I had
handed
a
you,
doctor's appointment and everything. That's what I'm
I've got
telling
5
you.
more years that I could add on to that.
Oh, yeah.
I can give you up to 10.
Adam,
You need to stop talking so I can finish what I need to do, okay?
I'm telling you, I'm not guilty. That's what I'm telling you. I did not have a choice. I went to the hospital and everything.
I'm handing you a
3
written
times.
admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered
I
against,
don't have a gun.
I'm not, just listen to what I'm saying. If you'll listen for a minute, you'll understand. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition.
I don't have a gun, man.
Good, then you
You're talking
don't.
to the wrong person. I'm Devin Atkins. I don't have a gun.
I'm required
No,
to
I'm
read that
telling
to
you, I don't
everyone.
know what you're talking about. I don't have a gun.
Good, then you don't have to worry about that. Go back with the bailiff.
Thank you.
I highly recommend you partner with Elon Musk on Project Colossus before it's too late.
Good morning, sir. You are Lotharia Jacob.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Jacob, you were previously in court, entered a plea of true to count 2, and a motion to revoke your probation. Looks like you're on probation for the 3rd-degree felony offense of driving while intoxicated, 3rd or more. And let me get that pulled up so that we can go through. Does the state have evidence with regard to any of the other counts?
Yes, Your Honor. Probation officer here testifies to count,
Give me space.
count 1.
Okay. So if I've already done a revised version and now I need to potentially write on it again, do you want me to, do I do a new one from the revised? Or, but the revised is the one I need to write on. Give me a second. All right, I'm printing. Okay, this is cause number 20-35966. And Mr. Nichols, with regard to count 1, you may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Cimaria Jefferson.
Good morning, Ms. Jefferson. If you'll please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
And
Mr.
Ms.
Nichols.
Jefferson, are you the probation officer assigned to monitor Lotharia Jacob?
Yes,
And how long have you been assigned to his case?
since about September when he was continued on probation.
Okay. And as part of his conditions, is he ordered to remain in Jefferson County?
Yes,
With an exception for employment, correct?
yes,
And so during your period of supervision of Mr. Jacob, did the GPS monitor indicate he was in Galveston County, specifically Gilchrist and Galveston, the city of Galveston?
yes,
Did you ask him about that and try to ascertain if he was there for work purposes?
yes, I did.
And what did he tell you?
He actually denied going to Galveston and Gilchrist.
When was this conversation?
It was during an office visit on November 20th.
November 20th. And after that conversation, did he bring you any documentation showing that he was in Galveston County for work purposes?
No, he did not.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor. Actually, I'm sorry, Judge. While I have you here, what is your recommendation if the court is inclined to revoke Mr. Jacob? I know that your opinion is contained in your updated report. Is your conclusion and recommendation the same as it is in your report?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Rojas, you may proceed.
I have no questions to raise, Your Honor.
Okay. Any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Any witnesses with regard to count 1 then, Mr. Rojas?
Just Mr. Jacob, briefly.
Mr. Jacob, the best you can, raise your right hand, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rojas.
Okay, Mr. Jacob, you heard Ms. Jackson's testimony, right?
Yes.
And you recall the day she was talking about when the GPS showed that you were in Galveston?
Yes.
So, first of all, is it true that you denied to her that you were there?
No, I told her I was going out there. I worked out of town a lot.
Okay.
And I said I was out there and working.
Okay, so could it maybe just been a miscommunication between the two of you?
That's the only thing I go up. I used to go to work.
And so are you telling the court that the days that the GPS showed you in Galveston and Gilchrist, you were actively working?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
I do concrete work.
And the concrete work that you take you to various locations
Correct.
around Southeast Texas?
Correct.
And are you telling the court that you did not intend to mislead Ms. Jefferson when she asked you about where you were out of time working?
No, I wasn't intending to mislead.
Okay, you think it might have just been a miscommunication between you and her that day?
You think you're fine after a car accident until this happens. Most people don't realize that even accidents.
It could have been because that's the only time I ever was.
Okay. I'll pass away.
I have a question, Mr. Jacob.
So who do you work for?
I work for Plain Concrete. I've been there for like 2-3 years now.
So when your probation officer, Ms. Jefferson, asked you about that, why didn't you get any kind of proof that showed you had been there? If she was questioning that you were, don't talk over me, let me finish my question. So if you disagreed with her that you were there for work and not for something else, then why didn't you do anything to give her some information, or your attorney at this point some information?
My attorney did. I talked to my boss man.
Mm-hmm.
And yes.
With court, I did speak with Supervisor Mike, I think it is his last name, Judge, but he says that it's true, they do work out of town, they go various locations all over Southeast Texas. He didn't have any documentation as to what date they were working out of town in Gilchrist, and he couldn't confirm or deny whether it was this date or not, but he did say they do work sometimes at the beach or Galveston. He just couldn't tell me whether these dates were those dates they were there or not.
Okay. All right, anything else then?
From the witness notice.
Okay.
I have some comments I'd like the court to take into consideration, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, the allegation is that you were out of the county without permission. And so you had permission to work, but when something comes up, I would think that there was an issue with regard to whether or not you were working on that day, and you didn't provide any verification of that, then it really doesn't leave me much choice at this time other than to find count one true. So I am at this time, based on the testimony, going to find count one true. Again, there was a plea to count two of true. I've received the updated pre-sentence report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
We have, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, we have.
Are there any additions or corrections?
Not from the defense.
None from the state, Your Honor.
And so I want to go through real quick, again, for the record, this was a driving while intoxicated, third or more. It was an 8-year sentence that was probated for 8 years. The allegation number 2 that you previously pled true to was that you did not use the handheld breathalyzer as ordered as well, and you pled true to that. So, Mr. Rojas, you may proceed.
Judge, as to that allegation number 2, speaking with Mr. Jacob and again with his supervisor, what Mr. Jacob tells me is that he blew into the breathalyzer. He blew into the blade. So that sometimes his job takes him to different locations where he'd have to park in a parking lot or on the street somewhere, and they walk to the job site, which can be, quite a distance away. And by the time he'd walk from the job site back to his car, the time to blow into the machine had passed, and that's why they're coming up so failures. There's no excuse for being late, Judge. He should have known when he should have been there, made plans. But it's not like he was blatantly not blowing into the machine. According to him, he was doing it, he was just doing it late. And it's because he was at work and the job sites were quite a while away from where the machine was parked in his car. What Mr. Jacob is asking the court to do this morning, Judge, and I know it's hard to ask this from the court. He's asking the court to reinstate him. He's already been to the JCDI more than once, I believe. I don't think we've got any positive or positive tests for alcohol. It's just the timing on getting it done. I've spoken with him on several occasions about how important it is for him to take these tests whenever the court tells him. It's not up to him. The court tells him when to do it, and that's when he's got to do it. I think he understands it now. He's asking the court to give a reinstatement and just go back basically to the way it was before the motion was filed. I understand there's a recommendation in there for safety, Judge, and I was speaking with him about that yesterday. I don't know what his feeling on safety is today, whether that's something he's interested in doing or not.
I'm with safety. I want to do everything. My wife's going to be homeless. I'm about to lose the house now.
So, but Mr. Jacob, you can't just keep messing up and then say, okay, I get it this time. Just let me out. I'm going to do it. You were here. Okay.
Judge, I want to, and I don't think Mr. Ross intentionally misstated, but because it's not on the report, but in the admin hearing, there is a positive alcohol test mentioned from early November. I know he may not have that in front of him. Just want to clear that up. But that it was a low blood alcohol at 8 o'clock in the morning, November 2nd, 2024.
Yeah. I see that. It's 0.003.
At 8 in the morning.
At 8 in the morning, so. And then missed subsequent test that day. I mean, okay. I want to make sure that I have this right. So it looks like you have been to, you went to the Unity House for 30 days. Within 2 months of the release from there, and this was at the beginning of your probation, let me go through. Began JCDI program April of 2022, shortly after you got on probation. And so you were struggling to maintain sobriety. You went to the Unity House for 30 days. Within 2 months of that release, you again tested positive for alcohol and had your first administrative hearing. Part of that was that you get that SCRAM device, as well as increase your recovery efforts in JCDI. Failed to adhere to those recommendations, therefore you were ordered to complete both tracks of ISF, which it looks like you did, completed December 28th of 2023. Then you go back to JCDI for aftercare, again struggled to comply, testing positive, forging your required meetings, and operating a motor vehicle without an interlock. This led to unsuccessful discharge from JCDI and a motion to revoke. And so you came here on a hearing on a motion to revoke. I left you on probation, continued you, ordered you to re-enter the JCDI program. You were going to be on the high medium caseload, continue with your portable monitoring device, and it was going to be zero tolerance. Then we're here again with failing to comply with that portable device at least, it looks like 19 times. You didn't do that. And then we've got the issue with you being in Galveston and Gilchrist without permission. So it looks to me like you've tried and started but never finished JCDI. Is it 3 times? I believe. But I'm supposed to just go, and you've been to ISF and you've been to the Unity House. I mean, when I'm saying that out loud, think about how it sounds for you to go, well, just let me out this time. I got it. I got it. I'm going to do good this time. You see what I have to worry about? I have to worry about everybody being safe. Mr. Nichols?
I'd urged a 5-year cap in September, Your Honor. There was no agreement on sentencing in this case for today. I just feel that zero tolerance needs to be zero tolerance, because after that, it only took a couple of weeks for him to start violating.
So, Mr. Jacob, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of true to count 1 freely and voluntarily. Find that count true. I've already found count 2 true based on, no, the opposite. You pled true to count 2. I found count 1 true today. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to revoke your probation, and at this time, revoke your probation. I'm going to reassess your punishment at 4 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm going to hand you the trial court certification. I need you to sign this, and I'll give you a copy. It shows this was not an agreement, so you do have some rights to appeal. You can talk to Mr. Rojas about that. Good luck, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Drinking warm water before bed improves eyesight almost overnight. Thousands of people are already doing this.
The number of times, and the fact that I have to say this out loud, the number of times that you choose to masturbate in front of the officers on purpose is ridiculous. Good morning, sir. You're Denzel Lewis. And Mr. Lewis, you were previously in court, entered a plea of guilty to the third-degree felony offense of unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. The agreement was for a cap of 6 years in prison. I've received the pre-sentence report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Are there any additions or corrections?
Just argument.
In addition, I have received the jail incident reports, which have been turned over to counsel. Have you both had an opportunity to review those?
I have.
Also, I have received this morning and now reviewed, it looks like 4 letters of support that Ms. Holmes brought today. Mr. Smith, have you had an opportunity to review those as well? All right, then Ms. Holmes, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. In looking at the PSI report, Mr. Lewis does have obviously previous criminal history spanning from juvenile and to adulthood. The priors that he has, it appears with burglary of a habitation. It looks like 3 cases, but they ran concurrently, in which he was placed on probation and had a revocation in which he was sentenced to 8 years in TDC. He has since been discharged from that, Your Honor, and after being released, there was this traffic stop which resulted in a firearm being found in the vehicle in which Mr. Lewis was driving. Obviously, in reading his response to the PSI officer, I would allow him to elaborate more on that. Obviously, he did plead guilty to the offense, taking responsibility, and we are seeking probation in this case, Your Honor. We believe that at this point in Mr. Lewis's life, he understands, obviously, being incarcerated before, that it's not somewhere that he wants to go back and spend potentially 6 additional years of his life. He would like this opportunity on probation to have that opportunity to spend and get back on track with employment, to take care of his family and provide for his family. And reading those support letters, Your Honor, he does have support here from family and friends in the community that are willing to step up and help him to make sure that he is a productive citizen and he gets back on track and understands that there's just certain things with being a convicted felon that he cannot do. And I think at this point he understands that, Your Honor, and we are asking that the court give him the opportunity to be placed on probation and to finish his term while on probation.
Well, I guess before we go any further, I want to make sure I understand, because Mr. Lewis, your version of this is that it wasn't your gun, it was in your girlfriend's purse, and you didn't even know her purse was in the car, much less the gun was in the purse in the car. So either you are guilty or you're not guilty of the offense. And so if you knew about it, then you're guilty. If you didn't, then a jury needs to decide.
I'm pleading guilty because I was driving the car, and by me driving and then finding the gun, they
But the law, that's not what the law is. Okay? So you don't get to just take a deal or plead guilty because that's what you want to do. When you were here before, you stood in front of that clerk, you put your hand up, swore that you were going to tell the truth, and I said, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily, or are you pleading guilty because you did what they charged you with?
And I was, and I still am.
Okay. All right, Mr. Smith?
Judge, I think he's been given probation before. It was not successful. He's been revoked. The actions in the jail clearly show he doesn't have any respect for authority or rules. I don't feel like he's a proper candidate for probation, so we're asking for a 6-year sentence in TDC.
So, Mr. Lewis, one thing I noticed in several of these letters that friends and family members said, I think 3 of them actually used the word respectful, that you're a respectful young man. What has been going on in our jail is the furthest thing from respectful that I've seen. The number of times, and the fact that I have to say this out loud, the number of times that you choose to masturbate in front of the officers on purpose is ridiculous.
Can I speak on that, Your Honor?
Sure.
The case wasn't on me. Somebody else had a case, and the woman even talked to the lieutenant to get it removed off of my file, but it still shows up. That was not on me. It's somebody else.
It's more than one time. So hold on. So on April 14th, let's just go through them. On April 14th, you were in trouble for not being in your bunk, that you had been given several orders to go to your bunk.
You're not getting replaced by AI.
You proceeded to walk around yelling, "Bitch, stop talking to me." So that's from April 14th, last week. Then on April 7th, it alleges that you had your hands in your pants, moving in and back and forth, that you were told to take your hands out of your pants, and that you had been told before, or this officer had been briefed on the fact that you were known for doing this. Your response, according to this, is that that person should have asked the officers how big your penis, anyway. Since they want to be talking about you, they should have told them about that too. Then, on March 25th, before that, a week, so another officer, and these aren't the same officers. It's not the same person saying the same thing about you. Somebody has some vendetta against you. So on March 25th, started to do rounds. Noticed that you were watching the person doing rounds. Had his hand over his midsection as if he was rubbing on himself. March 18th, another different officer. Notice monitoring the bunk. There you are, laying on your back, stroking your penis in a back and forth motion, told not to do so. January 24th, 2025, you're in trouble for walking around. This one, notice the way you're laying on your bunk in a way, making motions under the blanket, walked past, turned around to see if you were still doing it. Then you supposedly look at this officer and say, "I'm not doing anything," while you lifted the blanket up for that officer to see it. January 4th, another time, being told to be quiet, do what you're supposed to do, didn't do it that day. December 29th, another issue of not following the rules. December 17th, another infraction for arguing and not following the rules. So if there was one time when they got the wrong person, that's one thing. That's over and over again, you disrespecting female officers who are in there just doing their job.
I'm sleep on my bed.
Sir, we're really going to do that?
You asked me and I'm telling you, I sleep on my back.
Uh-huh.
I have sisters, I have a mama, I don't do that. Them people write whatever they
They're
write.
making this up on
I don't
you.
have-
That's terrible of them to do
If you
that.
really look at my cases report, ma'am, I don't have any cases on none of that. I don't have any time, I'm not on no restriction on none of that
Okay.
up in the county.
You were off parole, the way I do the math, less than a
I was off
year.
parole.
So you did your whole 8
Yes,
years?
ma'am.
What'd you do in prison to have to do your whole 8 years?
I was in SIG,
For doing what?
just tattooing, contraband.
Not following the rules while you're in prison. I'm going to find that you previously entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. Sentence you to a term of 6 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal, and you're lucky that this was the agreement. Mr. Smith was generous. The fact is, you could have been enhanced to a second-degree felony because of your history, and you're lucky you weren't. I have also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Obviously, you know this, but I'm required to read this to you. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read the written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long it lasts, you can talk to Ms. Holmes. You can go with the bailiff.
I spent $600 on a top-rated purifier last month. By the second week, the musty smell.
All right, you're Carly Davis and Carly Hoosier, and this is 24 DCCR 1385 and 25 DCCR 1237. And so we were going to be here on reviewing bond conditions, correct? And then the state has filed a motion to increase the bond.
Yes, Judge.
And is that in both of the cases or just that one?
Both cases, Judge.
Let me pull this up. I know I took a look at it last week, but. And so we've got both of these cases are driving while intoxicated, third or more. The first offense date is from May 6th of 2023. The second from February 10th of 2025. So we've got some history with regard to prescriptions. Some of it's obviously very hard to read, but it looks like prescriptions for alprazolam and something called D-amphetamine. Okay. Can't tell the date. One of them specifically says no refills. I can't read the dates on these.
We can get better photos, Judge. She has had that prescription for,
All right, it shows it expires October 31st for the.
Judge, I had a number of questions about those photos myself. I mean, I'm not necessarily, well, I guess I am questioning the validity. This doctor that allegedly prescribed it, this Rajan Desai, there's either an Austin address or in Texas address for this doctor. When I looked him up through the Texas Medical Board, and I'm just a little curious about.
So where do you go to the doctor? Where's this doctor from?
From Beaumont, and I do a telemed every month except for 3 months. I go to his office. I have an appointment
Today?
Yes, ma'am.
Where specifically?
Telemed today.
Oh. Well, here's what I think I'm going to do. Based on the nature of what these medications are, are you driving? Okay, I don't know if I already did, but a condition of your bond is going to be, as of today, that you are not allowed to drive any vehicle ever, period. Okay, so if you're caught driving, obviously you'll be right back in jail without, probably without a bond. Mr. Coleman, other than a no driving, Is there any other?
No, Judge, I just would like to reiterate, and we put it in our motion, and it sounds like, of course, we read the motion, but, you know, she's got 4 previous DWIs, Judge, and in addition, she picked up this latest DWI while out on bond for a DWI,
Right.
Judge. And that along with the positive drug test, I think the public safety, the community safety demands some additional assurances.
And Judge, our argument would be that the DWI itself is for the medications. She's been on these medications for.
Well, it doesn't matter if you're on medication and you're
Right.
taking too much medication, then that's a problem.
Sure.
So you can be on these medications and not be.
Also, the failure of the drug test was for these medications.
Right, I understand that. My biggest concern is the fact that if the medications are not being taken properly or too much of the medications, then that's a larger concern with the safety, and I completely understand and agree with Mr. Coleman on that. How'd you get here today? Here's what I want you to do, what I'm going to order you to do. I'm going to order that at your appointment, I'm requiring you to find out and with your doctor, get a prescription for something that is non-narcotic. So something that is not going to cause these issues if in fact our concern is that you are misusing or overusing these medications, then there's other medications that you can take. You need to talk to him today. I want you on your way to be off of both of these medications and on something that would not lead to the issues that you're having. Does that make sense? You need to get that information from him, find out what he can prescribe. I want those to Ms. DeLage, and I want her to get those to me. That is a condition of your bond at this point. If you don't do that today at that appointment and get that information to her, then I'm going to, what I'll do today is not rule on Mr. Coleman's motion. So that motion to raise your bond is still out there. And if you don't get this information and you don't get this done today, then your bond will likely be raised and you'll be in jail. Do you understand? All right.
My only question is, the medication to get off of it abruptly can cause.
I understand that. I'm not saying you have to get off of it abruptly. I'm saying I want the plan and how you're going to do it, what it's going to be reduced to, what it's going to take its place, whatever it is. I want that. You need to tell him that you have been ordered to get off the medications, but obviously that needs to be done in a medical way, but I want whatever that plan is and how you're going to do that, and I want that to Ms. DeLay so she can get it to me tomorrow. Okay? All right, y'all are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Cause number 16-24485, first year James Lofton. Mr. Lofton was previously in court, and that is a motion to revoke probation. On probation for the third-degree felony of assault, family violence. It was a 5-year deferred at one point, and then in February of 2020, that probation was revoked and given a 10-year term that was probated for 5 years, so went to a straight probation, placed on high-medium caseload and zero tolerance. I've received the updated pre-sentence report also. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
I have
Any additions or corrections to that?
no, ma'am. The only thing I would say is since PSI is that we have, this last week, we have gone and taken a drug test of Beaumont Occupational, and the client has.
This spray takes 15 minutes and it protects your car for 8 months. Sounds like a scam, right? But why?
Is that not have those drug test results as appropriate?
That's not going to change.
Okay.
What I do based on the nature of that examination and the substance abuse evaluation, I'm going to follow those. I appreciate that he stayed clean for some amount of time.
Yes, ma'am.
But if I'm going to follow after what I just said with regard to the nature of where we've gone on this, he, looks like there's a new misdemeanor, driving while intoxicated second, and that was from December of 2023. We're just finally getting here, so I'm going to do what's necessary, I think, if I'm going to leave them on probation to keep everybody safe.
Like I said earlier, Judge, Mr. Barrington and I had previously discussed after we both reviewed the PSI that safety may very well be
Yeah.
investigated.
That's what it appears from that evaluation, and so I mean, I rely on them and their
Yeah.
evaluation to
Yes,
say
ma'am.
what's best and do, and they're talking about not just the regular, safe P, but special needs safe P so that it covers everything from mental health to drug treatment to everything else that would be necessary, hopefully, for Mr. Lofton to finally be able to complete this probation. In addition, it will be, I will have to, and not just have to, but I will need to extend and plan on extending that probation period as well, because it's up either already or this year, and it's only pending because of the motion. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So anything else with regard to that updated report or with me going forward with sentencing?
No, ma'am, other than the fact that he is working, I have his employer here, I'd like to hear from them. We would ask that, the recommendation initially was ISF, and we would ask the court to consider ISF and sentencing instead, because he has been working with stable employment with his employer for more than a year and a half now, has had stable housing as far as that goes, and so we feel like that him going to safety would cause, financially devastating for him. And so we would ask that he be allowed to go to ISF and then have more strict monitoring on weekly reporting and weekly drug tests with zero reporting.
Ms. Malfino?
I defer to the court's discretion here, but just my review of the PSI, I think safety is probably convenient.
And so with regard to Ms. Jefferson, you initially also agreed that ISF with being on the high-risk caseload after would be appropriate. Is that your, what are your thoughts?
Yes, that was my initial recommendation. But I also included that I don't know much about his case because he had absconded for, I believe, over 2 years.
Yeah. And it looks like there was tested positive for methamphetamine August 14th, last month, denied using it, but stated he had used a month ago, but tested positive for it. It is, if there's
More
some
of a
type.
psychological type situation.
We don't have that, so
No, we
it's just
don't.
regular. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Mr. Lofton, I am going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1 and 2 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence to revoke your probation. However, I am going to continue you on probation. I'm going to extend your probation period for 3 years. I'm going to order as a condition of your probation that you enter and successfully complete the Safe P program, not the special needs, but the regular Safe P program. And that you'll be on the high medium caseload when you get out. You'll be required to do aftercare. I don't know how to stress strongly enough that this is your last chance. You will not, if you are back in here, I'm going to look at this paper and I'm going to wonder what I did and why. So you will be required to have a drug patch on at all times when you get out. If there's one positive, you're back in here and looking at that 10-year term. You've already agreed to 10 years, no negotiations, no whatever. This is it. You violate, you're getting the 10 years that you agreed to way back when. Do you understand? Yes.
Judge, the only question I have is, I think he was put on probation in 2016, wasn't he? Is that, can we extend for 3 years?
Well, he was put on a deferred in 2016,
Okay.
and then he was revoked and given a straight probation in
Okay.
2020.
All
So
right.
actually, I could extend him for 5 more years
Got it.
instead of just 3.
Got it. Fair enough, Your Honor. Thank you.
I'm going to hand you the trial court certification. I need y'all's signature on that, showing that this was an agreement that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. You'll go into custody. Obviously, Mr. Barrington will get it set up as quickly as possible for you to go take care of that other case down the hall in misdemeanor court, because until that's taken care of, you will not be able to go to safety. So y'all need to get that taken care of as quickly as you can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Never eat gelatin if you don't want to replace your entire wardrobe in the next 15 days. Since June.
Good morning, sir. Your
Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds really good. I don't eat ground beef all that much. It's not being picky or anything, but that's it for today, everybody. Tomorrow is miscellaneous cases. Let me look at the schedule here. Yeah, tomorrow's miscellaneous cases. Then next Monday we go back to Judge Fletcher and Simpson. I try to alternate. Every once in a while, I'll try to alternate judges and court cases. Get back in there. Get in there. All right, well, that's it for today. If you're not a subscriber, well, the thing is, you can subscribe to this channel if you want, but once the new channel is up and running, this is going back to a tech channel. And you know what, Gail? I don't know. I haven't seen or heard anything about it. I will look into it when I get a chance. I'll look into it when I get a chance. Are we done playing? Are we done playing with our motorcycle? Jesus, it's annoying as hell. And this shit goes on all night long. Well, sometimes it goes all night. You hear them all night long. But that's it for today. Tomorrow's miscellaneous cases. I will see you again tomorrow. Ta-ta, ciao, ciao. I love everybody that's a member of this channel. And I will see you again soon.
Never give up on this heart of mine. Put it back together every single time. Everything's okay.